gosh, welcome to my living room. This is so great. I'm so happy to connect with everyone. It's been a while since we've seen each other. It's really hard not being able to see your faces and to feel you in person, but I'm really glad that we get to connect this way, so welcome. And oh my gosh, there's so much. Lola's here. We have a few appearances. We have Lola, the infamous Lola, and we have the infamous Trish, and possibly my mother, and possibly my nephew, depending if we can like pull him away from watching a movie. But it's a full house here. So welcome to my living room, and welcome to this virtual convention. Anyhow, I'm going to do my best to answer as many questions as I possibly can. There are so many already. And let's see, how does this start? Okay, we are going to start with Julia, forgive me, my eyes. No, I'm sorry, Brittany. When you start doing, when I started doing meditation, when did I start doing meditation, and what was the benefits it brought into my life? And kisses from the group, strong, empowered woman from Brazil, e tu amo. I feel the same way. I love you all as well. So I started meditating, I would say 15 years ago. So I started meditating probably about 15 years ago. My meditation, there's several different kinds of meditations that you can do. And the one that I started doing initially was more of a relaxation meditation. So that would involve me lying on my back. And then it was also guided. So it became a very visual thing, and I would sort of escape into this really beautiful, serene place that I would envision and create with my imagination. And in that place and in that state, your mind opens up to so many different, so many different doors, let's say, that it basically can reveal so much of yourself to you in those moments. So meditation has been extremely beneficial for me. I've, they say like all the answers are within, and I truly believe that. I live by that statement. I do believe that you really know what is best for you. And if you just get really quiet with yourself and just go internal, then you can discover what it is that you need to do, or any particular conflict that you're having in your life. You can actually go there to find the answers. So it just requires some patience and diligence and commitment, and staying open with an open mind and an open heart, and don't judge it. So those are some of the benefits. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't Brittany. What am I saying? This was Julia. That question was Julia Franzosi. Franzosi. I'm saying that wrong, but you know who you are. Okay, the next one is Jess Pilkington. I think I'm saying that right. What was the biggest challenge of taking on the role of Regina Evil Queen? I would say the biggest challenge was not so much the acting aspect of it. Was amazing. I love the challenge of being, able to play multiple characters at the same time, especially with season 6. Season 6 was like, whoa, playing against myself was a new thing that I'd never done before in my life. And I grew a lot as an artist, as an actress, as a director. I learned quite a bit in that season. But I would say the biggest challenge for me ultimately has nothing to do with acting. It had to do with time. There was a lot of time that the show inquired. It took a lot of time. And I was there predominantly every day for, 9 months out of the year for 7 years, anywhere from 12 to 16 and a half hours. We would have breaks here and there, but even on those days off, you were prepping for, the work that you had to do in a couple days after, or the following week, etc. So a lot of my weekends were eaten up with prep. And so the time aspect of it was, it was everything for me. So it pulled me away from family and friends and events, loved ones. Like, I didn't really get to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do, like even birthday parties, holidays, weddings, funerals. There was a lot of things that I didn't get to do that I would have loved to have been a part of. So that was challenging for me. So, okay, next question is, thank you for your questions. This is so strange. I missed your faces. Okay, so TCG133. TCG133 asked, what would Regina be doing during quarantine? So, someone once asked this question and I had a really superficial answer. So I'm gonna not do that this time. I would say she would be conjuring up some sort of spell that would put an end to COVID-19 and save people's lives. In her private time, which I hope we're all doing in our private time, is staying creative. And I think Regina was very creative with her potions, and she would love to come up with new spells and new things really for her own benefit. But I think now that Regina is a hero, her focus is more on helping others and not just herself. So I think she would be conjuring up some sort of potion, some sort of potion that would end this pandemic. Okay, and so William_Swift. What Regina costumes and props did you keep, and which is your favorite? So I literally had a U-Haul truck pull out of the Once Upon a Time studio. With so much. In fact, my basement has been transformed to the Evil Queen's chamber. No, that's not true. But I did take a few things. And one of my favorite props is her hand mirror. So I was given her hand mirror, which she used with the genie. And I love that mirror. It's easy to travel with. I couldn't travel with my big, what was her name? Medusa mirror. The one with all the crazy tentacles, or Ursula mirror, whatever you want to call it. But I did have a moment where I looked at that mirror and I thought, can I squeeze it in the car? And then I thought, well, where am I going to put it? Like, my decor is not Evil Queen. As you can see, my decor is definitely more on the hippie side of things. I am a hippie at heart, and I am more like, like earthy, natural things. So, her decor doesn't quite fit, but her costumes, however, I like to sort of express myself in fashion as much as possible. My home is pretty, consistent in the way it looks. But my fashion, I really find that you get to express yourself in so many different ways with what you wear. And so with Regina's costumes, one of my favorite ones that I took was the rubber dress that I sweat so much in. So, I mean, who would want to wear it after that, right? So it's a good, I was like, I'll just take this off your hands. So it's the long one that I wore in season 3. I think it was episode 2, where she steps out of the carriage and I can only take like 2 steps because I couldn't move in the thing. So I just stood there, stoic and empowered, and threatened everybody. But I was in this rubber dress with this long, deep plunging neckline, which I love because I just thought it was the sexiest thing ever. And I had to keep it. So it's in my home, amongst other things that I will not reveal. Okay, Lara Costa. Which fictional character would be the most exciting to meet. Kisses from Portugal. Kisses to Portugal as well from me to you. Um, I would say this is so, oh my God, what? That's like the one that, oh, I'm forgetting the name of the movie now. Oh, what is it? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. It's with Tim Curry. Why am I wanting to meet Tim Curry as the devil? What movie was that again? Is it the Legends of, wait, is it, it's Legends! Now, why would I want to meet Tim Curry as the devil? Because Tim Curry as the devil was phenomenal. Now, I have no interest in really meeting the devil, but that's the first image that popped into my head. And I think because Tim Curry was so incredible as that role. And so I think Lana would want to meet Tim Curry as the actor playing the devil in that movie as that fictional character. So I just, yeah, I would want to know like what it's like to wear that headdress. Oh my God, let me show you a picture for those that don't know what I'm talking about. He was so amazing and he was so like powerful. Look at that. I would love to look at those horns. So yeah, I would love to meet him. Random. So there you have it. Let's see. If you could invent a new wine, what would I call it? Love potion number 13. I don't know. It just came to mind. Or La Parrilla de Hollywood. I don't know. The vineyard of well, La Parrilla means everyone knows what my last name means, or doesn't. Those who speak Spanish, it actually means grill. So I don't know if that would really work for a wine, but maybe, I don't know, something with my name in it. I like, Love Potion or Lana's Potion, something like that. Not very good at this, am I? Okay, sorry. Not good at naming wine. It's not my forte. But something along those lines. Okay. Gio, what's something you what's something you always have with you? What is something I always have with me? I always have eye drops with me, and my asthma spray. I have asthma, but I even more so my eye drops, because I have like really sensitive eyes and they get super itchy at like the most random things. And I'm kind of allergic to eye makeup. It's just like when things flake or powder or mascara gets into my eyes, it's like a big itchy mess. So I like to have eye drops in my bag. So drops. Okay, Marella Vieira. What kind of character have you not yet played and would like to play? I am developing a character with a friend of mine, actually, and I can't really tell you much about her, but she is a lot of what I want to play. Someone who is like from the streets. I think that a lot of people don't know that side of me that's very like, street, that like grew up in Brooklyn and could, who can like fight and who could like, I don't know, just hold her own in a different way, like in a street way. And like, I'd love to work with Spike Lee. I'd love to do stuff with him and like do stuff that's a little bit more edgy. And, even in the David Ayer movie that I was a part of, I have a small part in that, but what I loved about being a part of it was that it opened the door to a world that is kind of similar to like what I saw growing up, which is not so much all the like, well, no, I did. I saw a lot of the crazy danger and shootouts and stuff, but that's a side of me that people don't even think I have. And they're like, well, there's no way you can come from the hood. And it's like, well, no, I did actually. And I feel like getting to be that Brooklyn girl, that street girl, is only a side that people have been able to see through conventions or like talking to me or, but no one's ever seen it on camera. So that's something I would really like to do, is show the other sides of me that have been dormant in the industry. Okay, good question. Thank you. Being a McGuire. That's cute. How long did it take for you and Sean to rehearse the dance for the ball party in Camelot? Bocce to you too. I think it was like a day, a few hours. It was a few hours. Sean grew up dancing. I grew up dancing, so it wasn't that difficult for us. And Sean and I just, often, especially with dancing, when you're like doing more formal style dancing, the man leads the woman, so you just kind of follow the man, or whoever's leading. Rather, it can be the woman leading the woman, but whoever's leading, you just follow. So like he was leading and I followed, and it was pretty simple. But I think it was like a few hours of rehearsal. Yeah, it was fun. Anytime I can dance, I'm like, sign me up. Larissa Silva, what is the funniest rumor ever invented about you? Oh, the funniest is that I'm really like the evil queen. Like she's like her character. I'm like, okay, it couldn't be further. It's like not at all true. I think that there was a time when people really did think I was like my character. I remember talking to the producer about that, and they said, some people think that you're really her. And I said, well, that's called acting. Like, that's not who I really am. I mean, I don't think I would have many friends, at least in the early stages of, when we met the Evil Queen. And I have incredible friends that have known me for 25 plus years. And I'm not talking about 2, I'm talking about like 7 friends from high school that were still super, super tight. And there's like 7 of my girlfriends that were super, super tight that I've known for, 18 to 25 years. So, and not to mention like kids love me and all this stuff. So I always find that kids are a really good judgment of character. So a lot of kids, as you've witnessed, especially at Creation Cons, come to me. They love me. I love kids, animals. I'm pointing over here because Lola's there. But some people have said, oh, no, she's really like her character. And it's like, no, I'm not. But there was one AD, assistant director, who thought that I was like a real bitch. And they're like, she is just. And then that was the first season. And then in the second season, she got to know me. And then in the third season, she really got to know me. And she said, I was so wrong about you. I realized that you're more of a method actor. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, I just didn't like you when I first met you. I thought that you were such a bitch. And I said, really? She goes, yeah. She goes, but I realized that you were just in character and you were focused. I said, I was just so focused on the part that I didn't really socialize much. I didn't really engage. I didn't go out with the cast and hang out and go drinking and doing all that stuff because I was focused on the part. And Evil Queen, I would say Robert Carlyle and I pretty much stayed in our own little caves. We had 2 of the most challenging characters to play, and it was, the villains, and they are already on the outside being the villain, right? So we were treated kind of like outcasts at first. So it was very much like they're the dark ones, and we were just focused on our roles. Although we hung out, like the villains hung out. And then a little bit later, everyone realized that, okay, we got to get out of our characters and start to actually get to know the person. And once people started to get to know who I am, things changed dramatically in season 3 for me. So it was, there's a lot there. It was interesting. So I am not like Regina or the Evil Queen, although I have some aspects of her, and I like those aspects that we share. So, okay, let's see. What to do? Bianca. Bianca. That's a pretty name. What what are you miss wait, what you're missing the most right now? Oh, what am I missing the most right now because of this pandemic? Traveling. Traveling. I really, really, really miss Europe. I really miss Europe. Um, it's hard. I have seen friends and we've social distance. I miss hugging people. Although the people that I normally hug, I've been able to hug because I've been tested 4 times and I'm super cautious and my mom's here and my nephew, so I want to make sure I see those that I love. And but I miss a routine. Like I miss the day to day. Like I have this to do, I'm gonna go do that. And I miss the movies and I miss, you know, breathing the air when I'm outside without a mask. So yeah, there's a lot that I miss. Good question. Gio again. Lana, you said you are drawing again. What do you like to paint? What do you, I like to paint more? I know you like graphics. Um, I've been like sketching, kind of just testing. Um, but I like abstract art. Like I just kind of paint and then see what's there and what do I want to like what do I see on the page on the page, I'm sorry, on the canvas, and then I kind of just let my imagination take me to wherever it leads. But so I like abstract art right now. But I sketch more realism. Like I look at, Lola, or I'll look at my hands, or like I like drawing hands and faces. So I like faces. I think there's so much to be expressed in someone's face. So it's a nice challenge for me to draw or sketch or paint faces. Um, if you could be a Marvel character, who would you be? Probably Wonder Woman. um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, my growing up, my favorite characters were Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, I liked him because he was just like can swing, and I liked that he was like a boy turned Spider-Man. So I like that. But I think Wonder Woman was also like I had underoos, Wonder Woman and Spider-Man underoos, and people are like, well, what's an underoo? Underoos back in the 70s were like little tank tops and underwear, and they were my underoos, my Wonder Woman and Spider-Man underoos. So I would be either one of those characters. Um, of all, oh, sorry. Okay, I don't even know. I don't know if that's an L or an I. I think it's an L. Lysalg. Okay, Laisalg. Of all the characters you played, which one looks more like your personality? Probably Trina. Probably Trina. I would say her. And maybe what's her name? Dr. Zambrano. Because my family calls me Dr. Rigatoni because it's our joke. But I am very caring, and I'm pretty good at diagnosis with things. And I don't know, I have like an instinct or an intuition for medicine and sort of understanding what's happening with someone. And I would never claim to be a doctor, but I think I would have been a really great surgeon and a really great doctor. I have a steady hand, and I like to fix things. And if someone's injured, I know how to take care of it. So I would say her, but personality wise, I would say Trina. Yeah. I like to have fun. Um, Raquel Carmo. Oh, God, I can just enlarge this and not squint. Okay, there we go. What character of Harry Potter would you like to be? I thank you so much for asking that question. I am not a Harry Potter person. I'm not against Harry Potter. I just, it's like as a kid, I liked Disney, but I wasn't a Disney girl. I wasn't like all about Disney. I don't even think I ever owned anything Disney except for like anytime I went to Disneyland or Disney World, I would want a lollipop or like those sour cherries, goofy sour cherries. Like I was into candy. I wasn't into like princesses. The villains were cool, but I didn't like latch on to characters. And so I latched on to more like mythical characters like mermaids and, um, fish in the ocean. If I could be a fish, what kind of fish would I be? Um, if I could be a bird, I want to be a hawk. If I could be, I was like that kid. I was more into like Native Indian spirituality, culture, like stuff like that, and art. Um, I wasn't into like, and I was into like scary movies, right? So, I mean, I like Disney films, but I wasn't like an avid Disney diehard fan. So, and Harry Potter, I kind of feel the same way. Like I've watched three of the movies, and I know there's like seven or eight or something, but I've only seen three of them. And I read the first book, and I liked that. I really loved it. But I was into, as a young girl, I was reading like V.C. Andrews and like into these crazy, weird, like, stories of families and, betrayals and like kidnappings and weird stuff like that. I don't know. I guess I was a weird kid. I wasn't your conventional kid. I was just a little strange one. And I loved like scary, anything scary. So any like horror movie or thriller or psychological thriller I was into. But I never wanted to be those characters. I just wanted to be scared of something because that was fun and thrilling for me. So as far as Harry Potter, I can't answer that question. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Raquel. Um, but what I did like about Harry Potter was the adventure. And I loved like getting on the train and I loved how they got on the train. And I'm talking about the first movie, and I loved how like the candies and like, you know, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I was into like the magic of it all and like having a wand and turning something into something else. Like that was fun. But um, maybe Hermione, is that her name? The young girl. If I were younger, I might want to be her, or one of the villains, I guess. Kaylee K. Which actor actress do you really want to work with that you haven't worked with before? Gary Oldman. I would love to work with Gary Oldman, and I would love to work with um, see, I fear if like I want to work with Meryl Streep, but I wonder if I would just stop and watch her and like miss my line. I would love to work with her. I would love to work with Jason Bateman because he's so current in like what's happening in television right now, and what he's doing is really remarkable. Um, I just would love to see how him in action, in person, like directing and acting and watching how he does both the same time because he does that a lot, and I find that really admirable. Um, and then as far as like actresses, I would say maybe Judi Dench or Ellen Bernstein, um, Glenn Close. So any of those actresses and actors, I would love to work with Scorsese, even though he's like, I don't know how many more films he's going to do, but I'd love to work with De Niro, and I'd love to work with the greats that I grew up seeing. Those have always been dreams of mine. Okay, Joanna Goldbach, what's the most heartfelt memory you share with your fandom? Um, Most of them are like, well, there's so many. Oh boy. I would say there's so many, it's really hard to pick one, but I love the moments when the fans open up and share their, their trials and their struggles with me, and they say, this really helped me, or this episode really helped me, or you really helped me get through this, or moments when I hear, I watched this show with my grandmother, and when she was in the hospital dying, and we watched it up until the end, and then she passed on, and I always have that memory with her. Um, I love when families come up to me and say, thank you so much for this, because this is the only show I get to watch with my kids. Otherwise, they want nothing to do with me. So, hearing stuff like that is just really heartfelt to me, and I love it. So, and anytime a little girl wants to come on stage and give me a hug, or a little boy, or any, children, I love kids. So, um, yeah, those moments are really heartfelt for me. Okay, Rafaela Andrade. What thing before quarantine you didn't have much time to do? Organize. Oh my God. So that was really hard for me. I had to go through these bins that piled up over time because I was up in Vancouver and I was married, and I had no life for Lana. It was like Lana just did not exist in those 7 years at all. And so everything went into these bins, like, those big bins that you use for storage. I finally went through all that stuff and like dug everything out and just like purged everything. Um, those are the things you don't want to do, right? Because you're like, oh, this is so annoying. But I did all that. And then I also have been able to read more. I started, doing sound bowls and stuff with Trish. I started, um, um, God forgive me. I started, what was the other thing? I wrote a short. But I feel like those things I could do. So like really the things that is organizing and purging and going through this house that, when I moved into this house, it was like I moved into it kind of for the first time, because this house was not meant to be like a permanent situation. But then I got divorced. So here we are, a new permanent situation. So I had like all my stuff from Vancouver, and then all my stuff pre-Vancouver before the show, now all in one house. And I really had to kind of figure out my life here. So it was something I didn't want to deal with for years, but the quarantine kind of forced me to do so. And I'm really glad I did, because I feel like I turned a huge corner, and I haven't been this happy in probably a decade. So thank you, quarantine. Okay. What are some of your favorite tips and tricks when trying to memorize lines in a script? I am a theater major, and you inspire me more than anyone. One of the things that I find really, really useful is you can have a friend come to your home, or even over Zoom, and have them read you the scene. So you can lie on your back and close your eyes. It's almost like a relaxation, and let them read the scene to you. So for example, let's see. Ooh, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, because I don't have anything. What is this? Oh, perfect, to play. Okay, here we go. So for example, they will lay there on the floor, or will lay on the floor, and they will read from the very beginning of the scene. So it would start like a living room, and you would close your eyes and envision this world. So the person would say, a living room, a record player, and shelves with records. Wait a minute. That's weird. Okay. Sunday newspapers. Okay. This is just so weird. And I opened up to scene 2. Okay. We are in this moment right now. the music is coming from the record player. Okay, there isn't music coming from the record player, but the record player is there. Henry, okay, what did I just do? With several record sleeves around him, is searching for a particular piece of music. So have someone read this to you, and then when you get to the dialogue, say you're playing Charlotte, she'll say, Henry, hello. And then Charlotte moves, blah, blah, blah. And then she'll say your line, which is, oh God. And then you can repeat, oh God. And then she'll read the next line, Henry's line. And then she'll get to Charlotte and say, I don't know. And then you say, I don't know. And then, so basically she's reading the scenes to you, or your friend, he or she is reading the scene. They are reading the scenes to you. And you are envisioning it. And then when they say your line, you repeat it. And then you just do the whole scene like that. And you have them do it like 2 or 3 times. And then you say, okay, I'm going to do it. Now I know my lines. And you just read the other lines and you envision. It's a really useful tool. I hope that makes sense. I wish that I can get some feedback here, but it's super, super helpful. And it works. You can also write your lines, or you can record them. I sometimes record all my lines and I just listen to them and listen to them and listen to them and then read the scene, but I listen to my words and then I'll just listen to the words, go on a 45-minute walk and just keep it on repeat. That helps too. What was your favorite? Oh, sorry. M. Canberler and M. Canberler. What was your favorite costume from once? It's the one that's in my closet. It's the rubber one. Also, I really loved the red velvet dress that I did a huge photo shoot in. I thought it was so pretty. Okay. Let's see. If you, Mulder glasses. If you were in a horror movie, would you rather be in the final? Would I rather be the final girl or the killer? Oh, I'd rather be the final girl, because I've been a killer so many times. It feels like, I mean, not many. I just mean like on this show, I killed everybody. So I feel like I would want to be the final girl. What does that mean? Is that like the last one who dies? Yeah, I'll be her. Because then I'll live up until the end and I get to do the whole movie and that's fun. So, yeah. Janelle XPZ. Janelle XPZ. What is the craziest thing you've ever done and would do again? I would skydive again. I would do it again. Because it was so exhilarating. And it was like one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. And I was like, it was like, God, this is weird. It was 18,000 feet up in the air. And my hair's doing weird things. My hair's still wet, that's why. And I jumped tandem. I was with someone on my back. And he's like, it's our turn. And it was like, ah! And then I went out. But it was like all happened so fast that I'd like to do it again. And I remember that feeling. It was so incredible. So, yeah, jump out of a plane again at 18,000 feet. Burger Swen, I know you. Silliest way you have injured yourself. Like 2 weeks ago with Lola, she sleeps like, I'll show you. So she sleeps like this. Okay, well, we're gonna demonstrate. I know, we're just gonna demonstrate. Okay, and then she sleeps like this, and then I grab her like this, and then she does that. And special guest Lola, and I grabbed her and I pulled a muscle in my back, like bad, and it's been super sore since. But she's just so worth it. Look at her. She's a baby. Anyway, she's my little snuggle bug. So I grabbed her like this, and my back was like, ugh! And I had to go to a chiropractor. It was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday, and I had to, I know, baby. Right now. She has allergies, and I think she's allergic to something. So, yeah, I injured myself grabbing Lowell's in a weird way. And, like, she doesn't have enough toys. Look at that. Crazy. Look at her. She's doing the cutest puppy thing when they do that to their face. Oh, I'm in love. Like, it's ridiculous. So I injured myself, and I was a mess for like 4 days or something. And then I went I went kayaking with her the other day, and we were up in Big Sur and Carmel, which is just north. And she was on a kayak with me, and I was kayaking, and it was that same muscle. So I injured it with Lola a couple weeks ago, and then again, like the other day. But this time I knew what to do to fix it fast, so I'm much better. Dancing Queen 152. What is your current favorite piece in your Keep It Regal boutique? Well, I thought about bringing them all down. So I really like the V-necks, and okay. If I can just take you guys on a little journey. I told them this. I said they're going to end up like getting a tour of my home. But my room's kind of a mess right now because I took my nephew away on a little vacation. Hold on. So this shirt is the V-neck. And, I just want to say it's a good opportunity because I designed this V-neck because I thought some girls, some of the t-shirts were kind of like unisex, like to have like a low neckline like me, like to wear V-necks. So we designed the V-neck, and I really like them. I think they're so cute. The only thing I wish I would have done differently for myself is worn a medium, because this is a small, and these actually tend to shrink a little bit more than the unisex tees. It's a little bit different. The fabric's a bit different. These aren't 100% cotton. They're also rayon. So you have to go a size bigger. So this is a small. And, for women or young girls, young ladies who like a tighter fit, which is super cute, you can do this. But I kind of like a little baggier of a V-neck. So I don't have them with me, but I think I would get the medium for a looser fit, and it still is cute and sexy because it's that low V-neck, which I'm all about, as you can see. Okay. What is so I would say like the V-necks are really cool, and I really like everything. Mom, I want you to see my mom when she's there. Come here, I want you to make an appearance.
Oh, I don't have lipstick.
It's okay. Come here, I'm over here. Mom.
Oh.
Which is your favorite Keep It Regal? Are you wearing it? She's actually wearing it. Look how cute she is. No, it's like they're watching us. There's I don't know, 2,000, however many people.
Hi.
This is my mom, Dee, and she loves this one.
Keeping it regal.
She likes to keep it regal, so she's wearing this, and it's your favorite one, right?
Yes.
Is it super comfortable?
Yes, very.
And it doesn't shrink?
Nope. I've washed it 1,000 times.
Okay,
Yeah.
So she likes them a little bit baggy, and it just depends. But try them. She actually wants the V-neck, but I'm gonna get her a bigger size because she likes a looser fit, and as do I. So thank you, Mom.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay. So yeah, I would do that. Okay. Millie Johnson, after your experience with directing on Once, do you plan on directing anything else? Yes, I do. I plan on directing a short, and we are figuring that out because right now everything's weird, COVID, so nothing can really happen, and so I'm dealing with that. Which season of Once is my favorite? Probably season one. Sorry, Amanda. Amanda Ma. Oh, there's two. Oh, same question. Um, Probably season one. I love season one. It's just badass. Luana Lima, do you like being a Cancer? What's your favorite characteristics of the zodiac sign? I do like being a Cancer. I just, it's a really emotional water sign. I'm a double Cancer. So I'm like sun and moon with an Aries rising. So it's a lot. Fire and water. And I sometimes I love it because I think that Cancers they're one of the strongest signs in the zodiac. So I feel blessed to be a Cancer. It makes me extremely intuitive and I'm maternal. I'm very nurturing. So I do love it, but sometimes I just wish like I wasn't so sensitive because sometimes I can be really sensitive. Um, Ana Ju Parrilla. How did the idea of launching the boutique come to mind? I've always wanted to do like a fashion, and I don't want to be a fashion designer. I think that's a that's a lot, and I don't know where it's going to lead, but I like designing. I like being creative, and I like graphic T-shirts. I like, you know, um, I have a ton. Like I have a stack of graphic tees, and I know you guys have seen me in so many. So I'm a big fan of graphic tees, and I thought, well, I want to make ones. I want to make some. I'm always buying them. Why not just make my own? And the fans, they love these T-shirts that I've designed over the years, and I've designed all of them from the Long Live Hope to to the Long Live the Queen to all of those, and keeping it regal to keep it regal. So I just felt like maybe I should keep doing this and give the fandom like their own line, and we can kind of have our own little posse, and we can all keep it regal together. And I thought it'd just be fun and something to do during COVID. But even prior to the COVID, like 3 years ago, I was supposed to launch this. So the man that I was working with disappeared. I mean, like literally disappeared. He was working with a few other people as well, and he just was like out of sight, out of mind. No one can contact him. No one can find him. He just fell off the face of the earth, and I don't know if he's got into trouble with something or no clue. But I had a whole plan. It was like not just clothing. There was going to be a whole line of clothing, and there was going to be a whole product line. So we were launching like a product line and a clothing line 3 years ago, and then it just all went to poop. And now we're here. So we're starting off with this, and this is a beautiful thing, and I hope you all are loving it. So let's see. Bree Ashley, if you could do karate. Oh, I'm sorry, a karaoke. Oh, I need my glasses. If you could do a karaoke night with one person, who would it be, and what would you sing? If I could do a karaoke night with one person, it would be with Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly created Swingtown, and he's one of my best friends. And he and I have spent many nights singing together, and it would probably, oh my God, we would sing so many songs together. There's we might do like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. And we would probably do a lot of duets because that was our thing. And then we would take turns singing songs we loved and cheer each other on like we were each other's #1 fans. And he's my favorite person and to sing with, and especially duets. And then Trish would also be my other one because Trish knows every word to every song. It's really impressive. And we've had a many nights in this living room, dancing and singing our heads off. So yeah. And let's see. I'm going to go to this thing, random, and let's just see what this is. My name is Fabi. Where do you want Keep It Regal Boutique to be in 5 years? I really want to design more. So I'm currently looking for like a really good graphic designer. Someone that is really good with like graffiti, and I should maybe do like a submissions or something and see, and that just came to mind. But I'm looking for someone that I can sit and really create with, someone who's really great at, you know, doing some street art, because like I love street art. So ideally what I'd love to do is do what kind of like Shepard Fairey has done with Obey, which I love streetwear. I love urban streetwear. So I want to do more of that. And if I could, I that's the road we'd go down, like, you know, all streetwear, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, dresses, but like street dresses, you know, like summer, like I see New York City, you know, cute little skirts with like little tank dresses, or like fun sneakers, you know, some cool kicks. I love my bandanas. I want to do more bandanas, but I want to do them differently. I love the ones we have, but I want to create more and more images. I want to do a mom and or a parent and pup thing. So I'm working on that. So yeah, I have some ideas, and looking for someone really talented and with really great drawing skills, who have like an urban sort of feel to them, to create with. So I gotta figure out how to get you guys to submit those. All right, let's see. Another millions of questions are flashing before my eyes. Okay, let's see. What's my favorite book? Probably Little Prince. I mean, it's just beautiful. Or The Alchemist is just inspiring. Letters to a Poet. These are all spiritual books, though. Like, I like spiritual books, but then I also like A Prayer for Owen Meany is a phenomenal book and so fun. A book called Amber, which I read when I was younger, that I love. Frankenstein is great. I think she was so brilliant at 16 to write the way she did. And I have an extensive library. I don't know. I have books everywhere. I like living in books. What is the quote that inspires you the most? I don't know. I mean, you know, it's like there's different ones, but the one that sort of kind of like gets me through on a day to day is don't live that negative way, make way for a positive day. And it's really simple. And it was, you know, I always looked at Bob Marley as a prophet, and I grew up listening to his music, and some of the things he spoke about were so prolific, and they were like inspiring. And you know, negativity, we were confronted with negativity every single day, and so if we latch on to that, then we're not going to enjoy life. And so it really kind of like, anytime I'm in a dark place, it's like, don't live that negative way, make way for a positive day, just turn it around. And it really helped pull me out of my funk. So I like quotes that are really active. Swenstall. What do you think would have happened to Trina Decker and Regina if they met? I think Trina would have slipped the Evil Queen a Quaalude to chill out, and Quaaludes back then were like chill pills, right? So I think with a little euphoric sort of feeling, I think she would have been like, let's have a couple of martinis and a couple of Quaaludes and go sit in the hot tub and have a chat. I think they would have loved each other, actually. I think they would have been best friends. All right, let's see. We got a few minutes left. Ashley X. Well, there's underscores in between the X's and Ashley. If you could guest star on any show, what would it be? I'd love to do like anything with Ryan Murphy. Anything with Ryan Murphy would be amazing. Anything like, I'm trying to say, I just finished watching Dead to Me, which I really love, but it's so about these two women that like, it's really nice just to watch it and not really be a part of it because I would want to, I don't know, I don't want to be on it, but I really loved it. And Trish, what are the shows that we've been watching? What are the shows that we've watched? One of the questions is, what is the show that I wanted to guest star on? Am I like spacing on something? What did we see? Dead to Me?
Oh, that's me?
No, but what's the other ones that we were watching? The
The
Politician.
Politician.
What was the other one?
Uh,
I'm spacing on all of them.
I mean, I know we were doing Twilight Zone, Breaking Bad.
We've been watching all the old Twilight Zones and all the old ones. I said anything Ryan Murphy. Like, I don't even know if they're doing any more American Horror Stories.
Yeah.
What was the other for Hollywood? I hadn't seen that one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I can't. What have we been watching? You want to say hi to everybody
You watched Dead to Me.
from a distance?
Hi to everybody from a distance.
She says hi to
I'm making
everybody.
tea.
She's making ghee. Yeah, no, I don't know. I would say anything Ryan Murphy, the Politician. Huh? Oh, okay, I'll take one. Yeah. So that my Mao, if you could have any of Regina's powers right now, what would it be? Teleporting. I would just get the heck out of here and take Lola with me. And I'd like to go like, I don't know, I want to be in Italy right now. I really want to just be in Italy. I'm bummed that I'm not there. So I would teleport to Italy. Last question time. Okay. Great. Okay. Is it Gretav? What's the thing you love most about cons? The people. I love the people. I like seeing crossplay and I like creation cons are really special because it created this sort of like family. Thank you so
The
much.
one Ben Stiller did with Just Our Cat.
Oh, I love that one. What was that? It was that. It was on blah 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 blah. It was so.
The cell, the jail, the.
Anything with Benicio del
Yeah,
Toro.
Benicio, you might know.
See what he does to me? I love him. I don't care how old and fat and ugly he can be at times. I just love that man so much. He's the sexiest freaking guy out there. Holy crap. He's so damn talented. Yeah, that movie with, damn, I would love, not the movie, it's the TV show. Oh, what was it? It was with Benicio and Patricia Arquette. I loved it. He was so good. Oh, and she was so good. And they were so good together. And it was just hot as hell. He's just so hot. Anything with him. Okay, sorry. I just escaped into like fantasy land with Benicio del Toro. Okay. But yeah, what I love most about cons are the people and the cosplay and hearing your stories. That's what I love most. And oh no, I get to say bye. Okay, I have to say bye. And all of this other stuff is moving so quickly, and I love you guys. And hold on, I want something to stop, but it's not stopping. I think I can control it. What is your go-to drink, alcoholic or otherwise? I would say tequila. I love tequila. Tequila, champagne, kombucha, any probiotic drinks, like kefir drinks I like. Trish just brought me, oh, this is the blood orange carrot ginger. It's fine. I can drink a lot of stuff I don't necessarily like. I grew up that way. All the fresh squeezed juices my mom used to make. Anyway, I love you guys. I just want to say thank you so much for this hour. It's been amazing. And I hope to see you very soon in person when this pandemic ends. All my love from my heart to all of yours. Bye.